Hi YouTube, I'm JoshStrifeHayes and this is going to be a video guide to the epic dungeon, the Shores of Tuern. We've got a group with 4 DPS and a tank. Ideally we'd take a healer with us, but we're going to see how far we can get. So the Shores of Tuern, again, is a level 70 dungeon with an item level requirement of 6,500. We're going to queue up for it in private and go as fast as we can. I'm going to be explaining the mechanics of this dungeon as we go. This is not going to be an ultra in-depth guide. It's going to help you get from the start to the end as fast as possible with all the mechanics for the bosses explained. If you have any questions about this dungeon, you can normally find me on Twitch under JoshStrifeHayes. Now we've queued up, just got to wait a few minutes for the dungeon to actually trigger and then we'll be off. The Shores of Tuern used to be considered a skirmish before it got reclassified as a dungeon. It's one of the shorter dungeons, so it's very quick to run. So as soon as you get in, you want to hop on your mount and go down straight away. When you fell down this little hilly area here, there are a few mobs in front of you. You can run past these if you want to, but we're going to clear them out just for full completion and to show you guys everything. You see these green dragon fangs here? These green dragon fangs can be a problem. You'll notice he just had a long, thin red beam. That's like a single sniper style shot. If that's aimed at you, dodge out the way or you're going to take a lot of damage. The red iron golem is going to run up to meet you. Again, straight DPS. Avoid the AoE attack he's got. Unfortunately, Don wasn't able to avoid the AoE attack, so always get your team up if you can. Come on, Don, we can do this. Running straight down, you're going to be greeted by several actually quite tough enemies. You've got the Rage Drake over there, and you've got some Assassin Drakes in the corner. These guys all have kind of spit attacks. If all of them hit you at the same time, you're going to know about it. So deal with these as fast as possible. Once these are dead, these doors over here are going to open and you'll have a red iron golem and a green iron golem come out to meet you. Definitely avoid their 2 breath attacks and DPS these guys down as fast as you can. The 2 main attacks you have to worry about with them are the breath attack and the red circle AoE attack that surrounds all of them. For a high DPS team this shouldn't be a problem. But if you're slightly lower on the DPS, focus on one golem first, then the other. Running through the doors, another mob's going to greet you. See this horrible symbol? It's almost like the nuclear style symbol on the floor. That's put down by the green dragon fang. Another reason they're quite dangerous. Take them out fast if you want to avoid taking lots of damage over time. There's a red iron golem guarding the final door. Thankfully their attacks are quite slow, and they telegraph them really obviously, so you can see what's coming and dodge pretty quickly. Once that one's done, activate the door and your team can travel to the first. It's not really a mini-boss, but it is an area that you all have to work together in. Defeat the Ambush is the name of this, and this can be slightly different every time, but the mechanics stay the same. Enemies are going to run off either that hill over there, or those 2 doors there. As soon as the enemies get into the arena, just DPS them quickly. You're going to see Dragon Fangs, Rage Drakes, Assassin Drakes, and occasionally you'll see some more of the golems coming down. It doesn't matter what you face, tactics are the same. DPS as fast as you can and stay together as a team. Thankfully the guys I'm running with have enough DPS to burn pretty much anything down straight away. Once you've defeated the ambush, the doors will open, allowing you to leave. We're getting closer to the end now. We leave and bump into a couple of mobs on the way. You'll see a green dragon fang on either side of this area. Choose one and take it out quickly. If you're a low DPS group, you'll want to try and lure 1 or 2 of them away and pick them off one at a time, instead of running into the middle like we did. This is the last mob of enemies we have to face before we get to the boss. It's a really quick dungeon to do if you can get a good team. So after running up the steps, you can see we're now finally at the boss. This thing over here is a bonfire. Doesn't look like one, but this is where you'll respawn if you die. Now when we're in here, there are several mechanics I'm going to talk about one at a time. The first thing you'll see is there are 3 enemies in this arena. The actual boss and 2 drakes, one either side of him. Choose a drake and take it out first. If you leave the drakes unchecked, they can do a lot of damage even to a well-geared team. Now I'm going to run to the drake on the left and start doing damage to it. The drakes are just as excited to see us, and they're going to leap at us and attack us straight away. Now see how Garkas just threw a massive fireball. That fireball is going to be a real problem because it's going to burn constantly on the floor. What we want to do is stop him throwing fireballs. The way we can stop him throwing fireballs is by being right next to him. If you hug this boss, he cannot throw fireballs. His most dangerous attack, however, is knives. If you watch him now, you'll see just there, he threw a load of knives out. If you don't dodge that knife attack, and it's hard to dodge because it doesn't have a red symbol coming with it, you have to simply watch him. So we watch him now and dodge. That knife attack is very, very powerful. You get hit by that, you're going to know about it. Apart from that, let the tank stand at the front, you stand behind and DPS. If I run away and stay over here, he might pick me and throw a fireball at me. That's exactly what we don't want to happen. You're going to make life much harder for yourself and for your team if he's throwing fireballs everywhere. So once you've taken care of those two drakes, hug this guy really close, DPS as fast as you can. The tank makes sure he faces that way. The reason he has to keep facing that way is because then the knives are only ever going that way. We don't want him throwing knives in a circle. And once you've done enough DPS, this guy should go down. It's not scary and it's not complicated if you hug him, DPS, and take your time with it. Once you've killed him, you can run over and see two chests. The first chest over here is your reward chest for doing the dungeon. I'm going to take one of the belts and accept it. And then over here, you've got the second chest. Now I could use a legendary dragon key to open this, but I'm not going to. In order to open that chest, open your quest journal, go to your Sword Coast Chronicles. I need to try and remember where this one came from. I think it is from the Tyranny of Dragons campaign. I believe so. Yes, the Mystic Dragon Key in the Tyranny of Dragons campaign will allow you to open a chest in the Shores of Tuern. To make one of these keys, you need 3 gold pieces, 4 dragon sigils, 4 cult secrets, and 20 Dragon Horde coins from the Tyranny of Dragons campaign. I don't have those now, and I'm not going to use one of my legendary dragon keys to open it. That was a very quick guide on how to do the Shores of Tuern. So go and do it yourself, guys. Good luck.